Tonawanda Basketball Hall of Fame induction ceremony. Not only to welcome you, but thank you for coming and joining us in honoring the inductees for this year. We'll get to those in a couple of minutes. I just want to recognize a couple of people and give a couple people a big thanks. First, our new athletic director for North Tonawanda, recently on the job, has been very, very helpful, and I hear she's doing a fantastic job, Cindy Bullitt. Cindy, thank you very much. And I think since its inception, and if I'm wrong, Jim, I apologize, but for many of the years we've been here, the principal of North Tonawanda Senior High School has been very, very helpful, Jim Fisher. Jim, thanks again for all your help. We also have with us a number of inductees into the hall, and I want to recognize those, and if you would just kind of wave or stand up. Kurt Hollish is here. Kurt, thanks for coming. Bill Kozlowski, another inductee. Bill, Paul Sapaniak is another one. And the Willis Reed of North Tonawanda, Al Ridge, is here. And doing one of the inductions is also another former, or not a former member, an inductee, Ed Janulitis. Ed, thank you. When a little change in the program, I'm going to move one thing up because it ties into what I want to start with, and I'm going to be very, very brief. But when we started the Hall of Fame back in 2005, and Al was one of the key members of the organizing committee along with Mike Morano and a number of people, and if I forget some of you, I apologize. But we didn't know how it would go over. We knew a lot of the guys were out of town. We didn't know if they would feel strong enough about being inducted as to whether it would be really, really an event that people would come back to, but we were very, very pleasantly surprised. And just to mention a few, Jim McGlisco came in from Arizona, Tom Chester came in from Georgia, along with Ted Moore, who accepted on behalf of his dad. Mike Morano came back from Montana. And to go along with that, and there were more that came from out of town, but to go along with that, our two inductees today, Bob Rogo, accepting on behalf of his dad, came in from Colorado, along with Dave Wendt, who also came in from Colorado. So it's really heartwarming to us to see that all these guys have come back from a great distance, and it's very thankful, and we really appreciate it. So thank you, guys. And getting back to how the hall actually started, and that's why we're recognizing an individual tonight. We, as a hall, decided on a special award for those individuals who've been very instrumental in the Hall of Fame that may not have been players or coaches, but have added tremendously to the organization. And we're starting this year the Varick Cutler Cornerstone Award, and it is very fitting that our first recipient of that is very, very honestly the gentleman who, without him, we would not have had the Hall of Fame started back in 2005. And really, again, just a very brief history of it. The school district did not fund freshman sports that year. I think that was the second year in a row. And this is exactly the way it happened, and it shows the heart of the gentleman. I was working at City Hall at the time, and Henry was the city attorney at the time, and we just got talking one day in my office, and casually mentioned that, you know, there was going to be no freshman basketball this year because the program was not funded. And without batting an eye, he said, well, you know, how much does it cost? And I said, I really don't know. And he said, well, who would know? And I said, well, Greg Ross, the coach of the high school basketball team. We got in his car, drove over, and it was 15 minutes later. Greg had told him how much he needed, and Henry wrote a check, but with the proviso that we start to recognize the history of North Tonawanda basketball in a way that is befitting to all the members. And that's actually how it started. And again, Henry, I have to thank you personally because you got me involved, and I know all the inductees and all the members of the hall. Thank you. And on behalf of that, I would like you to come up, and I'd like you to present you with the very first Varick Cutler Cornerstone Award, and it's presented this day to Henry Wojtaszek. And this is Jack. I should be really giving this to Jack. Hi, Jack. To Henry Wojtaszek, in recognition for his generosity and vision in establishing the North Tonawanda Basketball Hall of Fame, presented this day, Friday, January 28, 2011. Henry, thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Tom, and we'll be brief here. But first of all, I wanted to congratulate Dave Wendt and Doc Rago and his son Bob here, who's here to accept this award from. Congratulations on a great job. I know how hard you worked to get here today. But I want to say thank you very much to Tom and to the NT Basketball Hall of Fame. It was a great honor to come here tonight and to get this award. It was named after a local legend and quite honestly one of the greatest players obviously here in North Tonawanda history, Varick, Cutler. I accept this on behalf of the whole Hall of Fame and on behalf of all those who gave their time and money. There were a lot of other people that helped. After a while, we raised some money to help defray the costs so that we could make sure that we didn't lose our freshman basketball program, as Tom said. As you all know, North Tonawanda is a great community. We wanted to do our part to make sure that we could continue to instill in our youth that sense of teamwork, cooperation, and hard work that basketball provides. My son's 9 years old. He plays on a 4th grade basketball team, and I constantly tell him that that's exactly what basketball provides and to keep on getting out there and playing. It's a great sport, and I hope we all continue to support all of our basketball programs and our great city of North Tonawanda. Thank you very much.